Click play and call it work.
Hey there folks, Josh and Vito here to bring you this week's Sit and Talk. So I guess the thing to make note of is that we've got Vito here, of course, the newest hire at MiniWarGaming. We decided to invest in a new content producer.
Invest, I like that.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
That was pretty good. I'm proud of myself for that.
$1 million idea?
Yeah.
I like it.
So yeah, basically, if you're not familiar with the show, I don't know what you're doing here, why you decided to click on this, but basically, we're going to go ahead and answer questions both from the stream as well as ones that were left on last week's Sit and Talk video. So if you have questions for the next person up next week, which is Steve, make sure you leave them on this video when we post it on the MiniWarGaming website.
Yeah.
Other than that, let's think. We got a couple announcements. Oh, I forgot to give a shout out. We got, of course, DJ Misfire here with us.
Oh, hi. Oh, I'm so loud.
So if you have any, why are you just super loud?
Yeah.
Like awkwardly loud?
Yeah. Blame Josh for having a big beard, and you guys having a different microphone setup.
And that's why you're loud. Okay.
And sorry, I'm coughing. I'm a little sick.
Nope. He's just Vito.
He's got a nervous cough.
No, I'm actually sick.
Yeah, he's terrified right
No,
now.
I'm not.
So, we're going to probably be starting off with questions from the website. But before that, we've got some announcements. Upcoming shows, I guess is the best way to call it. So, Vito, why don't you take that away? What do we got coming up?
So, tomorrow, normally Chris has his show at 12:30. But he's not going to be doing that. So, Matthew is going to be jumping in at 12:30. And he's going to be talking about Gene Stealer Cult, and what was he doing?
I think he's going to... So Matt's going to kind of invite everybody to come hang out. He's going to film some videos, but he'll do it on the stream, then we'll post them later. So he'll be going over his kind of thoughts now that he's played some games with the Gene Stealer Cult, with the... What are the grots called now? What's the new...
Gloom Spite?
Gloom
Spite. Yeah, grots. As well as Urban Conquest. So he'll be going over that. And what time does that start at tomorrow, Colin?
12:30, right?
That'll be at 12:30, yes.
12:30. Yep. Now, for anybody concerned about why Chris is MIA, he's on vacation, so it's nothing like that exciting.
Yeah. And then next week on Tuesday, we're going to be doing our Wrath and Glory campaign, which both Josh and I are a part of. And it's going to be called Escaping Destiny. So tune in to that next week at 12:30 as well on Tuesday.
So other than that, I think we're ready to jump into questions. We miss anything over there, DJ Misfire?
I don't think so. I think that's about everything that's up to logistics. So you are good to open the queue.
So the other thing, real quick, you can explain it better than me. We haven't opened the queue yet, so you want to tell everybody at home how they can ask questions live?
So yeah, if you guys are not familiar with the show, you got, I guess, chat, Josh and Vito cannot technically see any of your comments. So in order for them to see it, you need to use the command !ask and then put a space and then write your comment. Try not to make it too long because there is a character cap. So the shorter the better, but if you do submit a long one, we can accommodate for it. But yeah, I think that is all you need to know for that if you are new. And you will see the open thing in a moment
open the
in
queue
chat.
right now. Boop.
And then you guys are free to post.
So again, do your best not to get super far ahead, because like I said, we are going to start off with a couple questions here that were left for us last week on the MiniWarGaming website. So starting off, we got Zerga Lurgadurg, a staple question asker on these shows. Hello there, Josh and Vito. Hello, Zerga Lurgadurg. I'm going to forgo my normal reciting of titles for now because Vito doesn't really have any.
Rip.
On to the questions. First off, for Josh, I've begun building a guard army, and I wanted your opinion on something specific. Looking at some of the Forge World stuff, I found a couple of support tanks that are really neat. Salamander Command Tank gives one vehicle +1 to hit, and the Trojan support vehicle allows one vehicle to reroll all their failed hits. About 100 points each, and I'm wondering if you think that'd be worth it. Not in a specific list as much as just in general. I think they're definitely cool little tanks. If you're going to be focusing on, like kind of an armored list, the thing is you're only really affecting one tank. So I think, like, if I look at the way that I play my guard, Like I really like my Hellhammer. I really like my tank commander. So I think that you'd probably be getting a good amount of mileage out of tanks like that. Yeah, I think definitely if you're going to be supporting one of the larger Baneblade chassis kind of tanks, either of those are really, really good. But other than that, I think they're worth it. I wouldn't always bring them. I don't think they're an auto include as far as rules go. But for being something different and kind of weird and cool to add to the collection, I think that's where they get a lot of merit as well. So yeah, I think they'd be playable, they'd be solid to use, and you don't really see a whole ton of them, so they got the cool factor. So I'd say go for it if you got the money to spend. I like it. Now for Vito.
Being the new guy at MiniWarGaming seems to be very interesting. It is. Moving forward, what are you most looking forward to doing as a member of the staff? Excuse me. I'm just looking forward to doing my own battle reports. Josh and Luca, they've got me doing mostly the trainings. So Luca's got me under his wing, learning how to do the camera work and doing 40K and AOS. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to being on my own with a guest. Also, what are you finding the most challenging part of moving behind the camera? So first of all, being spatially aware, especially in the orc studio, because I'm breaking everything. And then also not being so nervous behind the camera, because on my first 40K bat rep, it took me, what was it, an hour and a half to shoot the intro. So that was the worst. But yeah, just having the confidence to be behind the camera, and yeah, so I think that's the most challenging part about being behind the camera, is having not necessarily the courage, but the confidence. And this one is for for both of us. If you could have a vehicle from 40K or 30K in real life, true scale, what would you want to have?
Okay, so there's a number of different considerations here. So as cool as all of the marine vehicles are, I don't think we'd be able to functionally make them work.
Okay.
I think we're probably too small of stature, like they're not.
Right.
So that would eliminate a lot of that. Then you come into the practicality of, all these different vehicles. There's parts and fuel and all that kind of stuff. So I think for this one, my answer would be, I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it's called a Centaur.
Okay.
It's the little artillery tractor for the Deathwatch Krieg.
Okay, yeah.
Here, let's see, Colin. Let's see. I'm gonna look it up, and while Vito talks about this, and we'll see if we can throw a picture up in chat.
Okay, so
what are you looking up? Sorry.
Centaur for 40K. Yeah, Centaur.
Yeah, it's literally a little tractor with a little dozer blade on it.
Yeah, it's got the same kind of vibe going on as
But
maybe
that's
like a universal carrier from World War II.
But that's saying that we could operate that. Okay, so let's say that we could operate any of the vehicles.
Any of the space, including the Space Marine stuff?
Including the Space Marine stuff. What would you want?
Well, that just opens it up to a crazy amount of different... I don't know. That's... What would be cool? Because I still want something I could drive around. Like, I think like a Rhino would probably be up there.
A Rhino?
Rhino, armored.
I feel like a Javelin would be fun. Take it out.
Land speeder?
Yeah, take it out on a Saturday night on the freeway, you just... Right? Wouldn't that be nice?
I feel
top
like
down. Well, I mean, it's always going to be top down.
Yeah, because it doesn't have a top on it.
That could be fun.
You know what? There's that, but
Until
I think
you crash and burn and then die.
Well, you crash and burn and die, and the fact that these things actually are able to fly up in atmosphere too.
That's true.
I'm assuming we would just die. And then the other thing for me is that the Javelin sounds cool until something breaks, because there's no current anti-grav proper technology existing right now.
Right.
So do we have unlimited parts and supplies for these vehicles, and do we know how to fix them?
It's a big open-ended question.
Because the Centaurs are supposed to be. That's nothing on here has real, technology that doesn't exist now. And in the lore, these things are able to run off any kind of fuel, basically.
So is this essentially just a farm vehicle?
Well, it's like an artillery tractor. You can go out, find muddy fields, drive around, and just have some fun. Have a good old time.
So it's a really big ATV.
Yeah, basically.
Going out for a rip, are you, bud?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, bud.
Yeah.
You know what? I just realized it's incredibly difficult to talk stereotypically Canadian sounding and not swear.
Yeah, okay.
That's... I don't know. Cullen, you back me up on that one?
Yeah, no, they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. Whew, not going to do that again.
But before you guys get to the next question, we have a tier 2 sub from Shotgun Caw William Caw for 4 months in a row. Thank you so much.
Is it Shotgun or Shogun?
Is it Shogun? Oh, it's Shogun Caw William Caw. My bad.
See? I know who everybody is.
And we've got Malicious 91, of course.
Yep.
100 bits for the vest, 100 bits for the beard.
Well, thank you.
We got Khalifa 198, 198.
Is he a
Probably.
whiz?
500 for both. So thank you for that 500
just
bits.
him.
Oh, it's just him.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And we have B Moser or Bemoser.
Bemoser? Bemoser's more
Subscribe.
fun to say.
Tier 1 for 4 months in a row. So thank you guys so much for
Wonderful.
that.
Awesome. Okay, any other considerations for vehicles?
I love the jet bike, but then you run into the same thing. You're going so fast, I'll crash and I'll die, and I don't know how to ride a motorcycle or jet bike for that matter. Something's fun about a Spartan, but then what am I going to do? Like, is it just a big party bus with my friends?
How do you park a Spartan?
You don't. You know how many tickets you'd get?
Well, like, what are they going to do?
Yeah, right?
Like, they're going to revoke your Spartan driving license?
Yeah. Well, I imagine just be like, so you have your Spartan. It's going to be like in Batman Begins with the tumbler.
Yeah. Except for a lot slower.
Right? There's no stealth mode. And you see that, you have that cop. You know, what was that? It was a big black tank.
Yep.
But it's not a tank. What is a tank? But it's larger than a tumbler.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to just go for riding a Centaur. I think I'm sticking with that.
Yeah,
They look like fun.
I'm gonna go with the Javelin. Why not?
All right, and thank you both for your continued awesomeness. P.S. Josh, your hat's almost here from China, and start working on it. He's doing up like a Mordian hat for me.
Oh, wonderful! That's cool.
So, yeah, I'm excited for that. Cool. I'm excited.
Is that going to be in the Wrath and Glory, or is that just going to be for fun?
Just for fun.
Cool.
So you can wear it in intros.
Yep. Yep. Around the house.
When you're walking your dog.
Yep. Okay, we got LDog94. Josh and Vito, I've been having a problem with motivation in Warhammer, both 40k and Age of Sigmar. I personally like 30k more, but as someone who moves around quite a bit, I've come to realize that for me to play 30k, I'd have to collect 2 armies just to get people to try it. Yes, that's difficult. Like, I don't know how active you are on social media and stuff like that, but 30k is still a fairly popular game, and I find that 30k groups tend to be very well organized. Yeah. So maybe if you went searching around, you might be able to find some groups where you bounce around to. But yeah, no, I get the gist of what you're saying. As for 40k, I don't enjoy the new rule set and feel the tactical play behind it is gone. Do you ever feel like 40k has lost some of its tactical charm? Any advice on how to enjoy the game again? You guys are great. Keep doing what you're doing. And Vito, welcome to the team.
Thank you.
As far as tactical depth to 40k, I'll be blunt about it. I don't think it's lost any of its tactical depth. I find 40k nowadays is very much a list building game. And I think that a lot of the tactical depth of 7th edition was the fact that it was such a mess of a rule set. Like it was so bloated that you had to know all the little ins and outs. But for me, that isn't necessarily the tactical depth I was looking for.
It's a different game, too.
It is. And I mean, that's just my opinion on that one. As far as enjoying the game, I don't know. Like if you're playing 40k mostly for the tactical, competitive side of it, I think you'd probably have to start looking into tournaments. Like for me, the enjoyment of 40k for me comes from playing a lore appropriate army that looks cool with models I think are cool.
Yeah, I mean, for like any advice on how to enjoy the game again, there's 2 trains of thought for me anyway. You could either abandon the game, find something else, and then that might trigger you to kind of come back to the game, because it's what's the old saying? Distance makes the heart fonder, I think.
Grow fonder, yeah.
Grow fonder. Or like Josh said, you can find something within the game that makes you fall back in love with it. So whether that be a certain chapter that, you know, you love the fluff or the lore really deeply. So then, you know, you build your army around that. It may not do well on the tabletop, but because you delve so deeply into it, you know, you're just really into it. So that's my 2 cents about it.
Honestly, yeah, see, you lost motivation in Age of Sigmar too. Age of Sigmar is probably for me a much more tactical, fun game. I think Age of Sigmar is in a really good state right now. 40K is still in a great state because it's still like a great amount of lore and everything else. But yeah, I get what you feel. It doesn't feel the same. Personally, I like 8 because it feels a lot more streamlined in a lot of different ways. Things make a little bit more sense. But maybe try other similar games. Like it might end up spoiling you. It depends on what your local play groups are. But I highly suggest Bolt Action is another game that you could try out, or Conflict 47 if you want to stick with kind of a sci-fi theme. So we'll do one more in here, and then we'll jump over to the queue.
Alrighty, Tranquil Darkness. Hey, Vito. Welcome to the crew. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you play. Love your Arnie/Dutch voice for Wrath and Glory. Thanks. Is that your one special voice, or can we expect many more? Second, say you want to get to play in the next Deathwatch narrative campaign with Josh. What will your teams be? So for your first question, no, Arnold is not my only voice. I do actually have a whole plethora of voices. For one part in my life, I actually did want to be Matthew's peeking right through the corner. Hey, Matt. I did want to be a voice actor. So for a few years, I was actually dedicating time to being a voice actor. But being a voice actor is actually a little bit more difficult than being an actual regular actor. So I kind of abandoned that career choice. But yeah, I do have an assortment of hats of voices that I can do. So I'm looking forward to portraying those voices in either different D&D campaigns, if we do decide to go through more D&D campaigns, or even narrative campaigns within 40K or AOS or whatever other campaigns we decide to do at MiniWarGaming. In terms of Deathwatch, what will my teams be? I don't actually know, to be very honest. I'd love to see characters that have a lot of Xenos weapons. I think that would be really cool. I'd love to have a Minotaur character with like maybe a Thunderhammer or Storm Shield. I think
Yeah, if
that'd be
you
really
had
cool.
to, okay, so if you had to pick 5, I guess 5 chapters, what would the 5 chapters your guys
Okay,
be from?
so definitely Minotaurs. I'd like to see someone from the White Scars.
Okay.
I always love the White Scars. Maybe, I think, is it the Sons of Medusa? Are they a chapter?
I think Sons of Medusa is one, yeah.
Yeah, I like the fluff and the narrative behind them. Our custom chapters?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did custom chapters in mine.
I did a Sons of Neptune custom chapter. I made like a 10-man squad, so maybe I do one of them. Maybe Blood Angels. And I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. So, yeah, I mean, I've watched the Deathwatch narrative stuff, but I'm kind of caught on the spot with that question, so I'd have to come back to that question.
Cool. Okay, we're going to jump over now to some of the submitted questions here from Twitch. Thank you for not spamming them a whole ton. So we'll get some of these, and then we'll let the queue go back up.
But first, oh wow, we first had a Twitch Prime sub from Pickaxe 138,
Thank you.
but now we just had Vengeance 13 Lade, gifting 5 tier 1 subs to Heavy Glen, Aaron 1109, Takani, E Squared 57, and Cybot 23. So thank you so much, Vengeance 13
Thank
Lade.
you.
To celebrate Vito's hiring is what he said
Wow.
those were for. So that was all for you, Vito.
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
Welcome everybody who won one of the tier 1 subs.
Wow.
Okay, so we'll start now. Okay, so after we read one of these, Colin, you're gonna tell me just pick next. Is what we gotta hit
Yes.
to clear. Okay, so Vito, why don't you start us off right at the top there?
All right. Super Wasp King asks, Vito, in your opinion, what would be the ideal first narrative campaign on the channel? Be for you. That's actually a good question. I'm not entirely sure. I'd leave that up to Matt or Josh to decide. Maybe I guess a Deathwatch campaign. What do you think, Josh?
The Deathwatch campaign would be fun. I mean, is there any certain like factions that really speak to you that you'd want to be in charge of the army for?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, even have you guys done an AOS?
Yeah, they've done a couple of them. They did the first one, I want to say, is Ilrath's Awakening. And then they also did the Yogviren Tour. So Yogviren Tour was the weird one, kind of where it was just they were each controlling a single character.
Okay. That actually could be fun. I'd like to... Actually, yeah, that would actually be a fun thing to do, because then that would allow me to expand my voices, because I like doing that, all the different voices. So maybe a campaign where, whether it be AOS or even 40K, where I can take command of like different characters and then create different voices. So maybe something like that.
Makes sense. So just take the mouse and hit pick next, and then you can jump to the next one.
Alrighty. Trusty Broom. Hey Vito, are you going to be playing AOS? If so, what army? Yes. So I'm currently working on a Daughters of Cain army. Just before Christmas, I picked up roughly around, I think it was 3,500 or 4,000 points of Daughters of Cain. So I'm currently, they're all built, and I've got, I think, 15 Blood Sisters painted, and I'm working on 10 of the bow snakes. What are they called? I
don't know the name of any of this.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, I'm working on 10 of the snake girls with the bows. But yeah, everything else is built. So yeah, look forward to some Daughters of Cain on the channel. Next. Vengeance 13 ADE. Is that right?
Yeah, it's Vengeance Blade, I guess.
Vengeance Blade. Oh yeah, Vengeance Blade. Vito and Josh, or Josh and Vito. What are your thoughts with the fluff of Flesheater courts? Do you feel like how the others, where you believe that they
were former
Bretonians?
Cullen, 140714, buddy.
And this is from
Vengeance Blade.
Let's see. Do you feel how the others where you believe that they were formerly Bretonians?
Oh, okay. I love that fluff. That is great.
I think it's good lore, the idea of this kind of crusading army. I haven't delved deep enough to really know if that's like, is it the whole faction thing, or is it just like a specific one of the, I don't even know what are the groupings of Flesheater courts called?
Oh.
Do you remember?
They're houses, I think?
Houses, yeah.
I think they are.
I don't know if it's just one of the houses, maybe that's more specific to the Bretonian lore. I like the fact that, they are kind of throwing the Bretonians a bone, and I really hope, I think the big thing for me is I really hope they, when I say they, I mean Games Workshop, that they bring back the Bretonians in some sort of a way, like a reimagined Bretonian faction would be super cool. So I hope they're, because they are in the lore that they've got their own little pocket of a realm, I think, and so hopefully they keep them in the back pocket there until they figure out what to do with them and they come up with something cool. And it's not just, the only time we're going to touch them is, some of the Flesheater court stuff is what they've devolved into. Yeah,
I was a little sad when Bretonians kind of got completely wiped out, because Bretonians was the very first army I started with when I first entered into Warhammer in general. So seeing like little tidbits of the Flesheater courts that they are actually Bretonians is, I don't know, brings some warmth into my heart. I kind of like it.
Makes sense. Colin, you're going to have to help us with the next one too, buddy. Kroll 46. It should be right there.
Can you go
you can click next.
This is a fun question, actually. You want to
so yeah, we'll start it off and Colin, you can finish it. Hi, Vito and Josh. If you were Horus, you had to pick 8 Primarchs and their respective legions to join you in a war against the Emperor.
In brackets, and they cannot refuse to join your side, and brackets, who would you pick?
Magnus the Red. And that's all I want.
Magnus did everything wrong.
He did. Absolutely. But
he is a major reason why things went poorly.
No, yeah,
It's
totally.
all his fault.
Yeah, absolutely. But he is a super powerhouse, and it's he had to die in the Horus Heresy. Like even if you read, I think it's the Dornian Heresy, which is like the Theoreticus version of how the Horus Heresy could have ended. Magnus still died because it doesn't matter how the Horus Heresy ends. There's no room for Magnus to survive because with Magnus, in my personal opinion, Magnus can't survive because Magnus can take on any of the legions. Him and the Thousand Sons, in my opinion.
If he wasn't such a mopey.
Here we go.
Liar.
Here we go. Okay, but let's answer the actual question.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna say, if I was, the Emperor and had to pick 8 respective Primarchs to, be on my team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but here we have to be Horus.
No, I refuse.
Okay, so we're
I
the
that-
Emperor.
I refuse that already. Actually, you know what? Let's come up with. Let's get a scratch paper. We're gonna do the list of the legions.
Okay.
You know what? Sure. Write them all down. Write down all of the 18 surviving legions at the end there, and we'll do the dodgeball picks.
So we got T-Sons.
Why would you start with the worst?
They're the best.
Here, I'm gonna come up with a list of this.
This kid.
All right, well, while they do that, I will give a shout out to GeoFits4 for subscribing for his 4th month in a row. 4 months MWG. That's what he said.
Iron
Thank you so
hands.
much, GeoFits. You are a big part of our streams, and we appreciate you as a viewer.
What else we got?
Okay, so here, let's go. We're gonna start off. We got the Dark Angels,
Dangles.
Emperor's Children,
I got him.
the Iron Warriors, the White Scars, the Space Wolves, Imperial Fists, the Night Lords,
Night Lords.
the Blood Angels,
Yep,
Iron Hands,
I got him.
World Eaters, the Smurfs.
Smurfs.
We got the Death Guard,
Death Guard.
the T-Sons,
Yep.
Sons of Horus,
Yep.
Word Bearers,
Yep.
Salamanders, Raven Guard,
RG.
and then the Alpha Legion.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so let's say that you will be. So yeah, if you're in the Horus one, then you gotta automatically, I guess, take the Sons of Horus. But we'll pretend you don't have to.
Okay.
You're some opposing emperor.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got to divvy it up. Do you want the first pick? I'll give you the first pick.
Oh, sorry. Are we doing this combined?
Well, like you can pick one, then I'll pick one. And
Okay.
We'll see how it ends.
So I'm definitely going to take the Thousand Sons because I want the Psychic Might and Magnus is awesome.
Okay, so we got one for Vito there. We got the nerds.
What do you want?
You know what? We need somebody good, loyal, who's here to get the job done. We're gonna go for the Imperial Fists.
Imperial. Where are they? I should have wrote this properly. Imperial Fist. So
It's
Josh.
spelled with an E.
Oh yeah.
Vests?
Imperial Fists.
There
I was
we go.
writing this really
Or
quickly.
Okay, so-
Imperial?
It was Imperial.
They're Imperial.
Okay, so you got the nerds.
Okay. Oh geez. Oh geez. Let's go. I'm gonna go with the White Scars. Where's the White Scars? White. Did I write them down? White Scars.
See, that's awkward because that would have been my second pick there.
Hmm.
So now I'm having to change it up. So
I definitely want Jagatai on my team.
yeah. Ooh, you know what? Let's go for the Raven Guard.
You're going with the Raven.
Go with the
Guard.
Raven Guard. I think Korax would be good to have on your side.
That's true. Okay.
Somebody that's able to be sneaky but they're loyal.
That's true. Okay. I definitely want some. I'm thinking I want the World Eaters, but I can't really control Angron. But I don't necessarily need to control Angron as I need to unleash Angron, kind of like Achilles. So I think I'm going to go with the World Eaters.
Okay. To counter that, obviously, you want the more aggressive, assaulty type legion. So I'll go with the Space Wolves.
You're going to go with the Space Wolves.
Yes.
Now, I think I'm going to go with a little bit of resilience. So I'm going to go with the Death Guard.
Death Guard. Okay. Again, we want to stick with the theme of, loyal, powerful fighters. I think we're going to go for
Kids.
the Iron Hands.
The Iron Hands. Where we got Iron Hands?
This is the third one you wrote down. It's the only one you wrote in full.
Thank you, Josh. So you got the Iron Hands. I kind of want some siege experts. So
Well, I already took the fists, so there's not.
Oh, you got the fists?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot there for you to.
I am beautiful, so I think I'm gonna go with the Emperor's Children.
Wow.
Okay. Yep. More concerned about their looks than their prowess in battle. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what? Again, sticking with the loyal theme, get the job done, no matter what cost. I think we're going to go for the Night Lords.
You're gonna go with the Night.
Gonna go with the Night Lords.
Night Lords. Josh going with the Night Lords. I think I'm gonna have Sanguinius on my team, so I'm going with the Blood Angels.
That awkward, the other guy that can see the future.
Yeah, and he's also beautiful, like me. Continue.
Okay. What was this supposed to be? The Space Marines.
Who's SM?
the Salamanders.
Salamanders.
Yeah, we're gonna go for Salamanders.
You want Salamanders?
Yep.
Josh has Salamanders. The Space Marines. Jeez. Okay. Who's WB? Warner Brothers?
The Word Bears?
I don't want them. There's the Iron Warriors.
You need a whiner on your side, so you go for the Iron Warriors. You're pretty whiny and complaining.
I am not
whiny.
That's not true. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Iron Warriors. Why not? So you got left is the Smurfs, the Alpha Legion, or the Dark Angels.
So, well, there's the Sons too. So I'm just gonna take the Sons of Horus.
You're gonna take the Sons of Horus?
Yeah. You know, I think if Horus was properly supported, if Dad didn't, just let him do his own thing,
right?
Then
okay, fair enough.
Solid somebody to have on your side.
I do think I want a solid strategist on my team, so I will take the Smurfs.
Yeah, see, I don't like Gillen because he had his own little empire and all that. He's not one of these.
Yeah, but he's going to be on my empire.
Yeah, but then he was already started to secretly start his own. He's like, oh, Dad might be dead. Cool.
Yeah, but we're going to start Vito Secundus, so that's fine. It's going to be the second beautiful empire.
Is it bad that looking at the rest of these legions, I'm like, I don't want any of them?
You want to just give them to me?
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you could take them, and they're gonna do more harm than good. So we got the Dark Angels left, which again, I don't need Mopey McGee hiding in the shadows, not trusting his own men. We got the Word Bearers. Nope.
And there's the Alpha Legion.
And the Alpha Legion. Which, who knows? They're always doing their own thing. You know what? I'll take the Alpha Legion, because at least they got the planning thing, and I don't know, if Alfarius and Omegon can be kept on a tight leash, I guess you couldn't, I don't know. Sure.
You know what? I'm considering taking the word bearers because I will not make them bend the knee. I will make them preach the beautiful word of Vituch. So I will take the word bearers.
I guess I got the Dark Angels.
You got the Dark Angels. The Dank Angels. Awesome.
Okay,
that's
so
everybody.
Going over your
right.
team here.
So I've got the Thousand Sons, the Emperor's Children, the Iron Warriors,
pretty boys,
the
Whiners.
Who's the Whiners? Who are these guys? The weapon.
Okay.
Who's the weapon skills?
The White Scars.
The White Scars. Thank you. I've got the Blood Angels. Who's
the World Eaters?
The World Eaters. The Smurfs. The DG.
Death Guard.
Death Guard.
How can you not figure this out?
The Word Bearers, and that's it.
So so I've got the Iron Hands. Good strong Primarch there. Good strong Legion. Get the job done. Dark Angels, because somebody's going to get picked last.
Yeah.
The Space Wolves. I think Russ would be good to have on your side.
Sure.
The Imperial Fists, of course. The cornerstone of the whole defensive setup.
Okay.
Night Lords. You know what? Because they got a bad rep, but they did what the Emperor told them to do. The Emperor told them to do all those terrible things, and they stuck with it.
Okay.
Sure.
Continue.
And then we're the Sons of Horus. They were the best when Papa Horus didn't lead them astray.
So the Luna Wolves.
Yeah, the Luna Wolves. Let's prefer the Luna Wolves more than anything else.
But you got the Sons of Horus, so it's okay.
Well, it's not perfect. The Salamanders or the Space Marines, as we were saying earlier.
Yeah,
I think again Vulcan, good, loyal. We got the Raven Guard and the Alpha Legion. So I think the big thing is I look at pretty much everybody on my list, And I mean, Horus became the War Master because he was. But I don't think anybody else on my list, other than I got stuck taking the Dark Angels, none of them wanted to be the War Master. None of them wanted to be in charge. So, they were there to get their job done. They didn't need all the glory and all that.
I'm kind of happy with my list. I think I'm gonna come up on top.
I think you'd lose hard.
You think so?
I don't think they'd be able to work together long enough. They'd all be kind of squabbling over, well, who's number 2 in charge?
I'm number 2. I'm number 1. So I am the regional manager. I'm assistant to the regional manager, and I'm an assistant to the regional manager.
So where's your Pam in all of this then?
I am Pam.
Okay. So we're gonna do a couple more here, and then we're gonna jump back.
But before you guys jump back into it, we got some subs to shout out. So we've got, see, he knows what's up. J.A. Weedell. He spelled his name out in a comment, so I wouldn't pronounce it, because I would have said something like Jawweddell. So thank you for putting your name there. And we've got Drakillian, who is one of our 3 tier 3 subs, and he is 4 months now, so thank you so much. Vito, reward me by joining Slanesh. His comment.
I'm actually planning on eventually doing a Slanesh army. Slanesh is actually my favorite god. So yes.
So there you go, Drakillian. As well as he did donate us $20 using the Streamlabs.
Oh, awesome!
Thank you. No, so Drakillian, I think I'm going to get it right. I believe that is Corey.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it is, yeah. Who came in to visit a little while ago, and he brought in his very nicely painted Bretonians.
Ooh.
And got stomped by the Beast Claws.
Oh, you got 2 thumbs up then.
It was fun anyways. But he's coming back to visit in a little while. So he's actually the next in the question queue here. So question 1, Josh plus Vito. And remember, you can only, I guess we forgot to mention, you can only have one question in the queue at a time.
Yeah.
So if you've tried to put multiple in, we only see the first one. So Drakillian there. Josh plus Vito, new Slanesh Battletome AOS. What do you want to see?
To be honest, I'm not too familiar with the AOS Slanesh.
They're stupid fast.
Are they?
I think they are by far the fastest faction in the game.
Oh, okay. So I'm not entirely sure what I want to see, so I'm just looking forward to when they come out. Hopefully it's some good stuff.
I think the thing for me is, because Slanesh is one of the gods I'm not super interested in. Obviously, I'd like to see some updated models. That's always cool.
Yeah, that's true. I want to see more armor, though. Mm-hmm. I want to see more stuff with armor, but elegant armor.
Well, because Slanesh was always about being excessive. And they've always went towards the kind of... They used to have the combat drug feel in 40K to a certain degree, and then they also... The somewhat sexualized kind of thing, but anything's excessive. So, if they had some demon that was just some giant, big, fat demon that can't stop eating, that would fit with the excessive theme, but it'd be a part of Slanesh we don't see a ton of, right?
Well, that's true, because Slanesh isn't just the over-sexualized. It could be, like you said, the excess. It could be the elegance of things. And that's actually one of the things I like about Slanesh is because, like you said about the excess, so worshippers of Khorne, if they go a little bit too much into the bloodlust, that could be a form of excess.
Right. They get excessive to the point where it's it's only just a means to an end.
Right. So that could actually fuel Slanesh as well.
Right.
So that's actually why I like Slanesh the most.
So I guess I'd like to see them develop it a little bit more, and then I'd like to see a new mechanic for summoning, because I think the current way it works is that every time they cause a wound that doesn't slay a model, they get a summoning point. Mm-hmm. So but if you're facing a bunch of single wound models, it doesn't really give you a whole lot of benefit. What happened on the screen? What was that? It's on Vito's head. Look at it.
That is some bits donation, so I just turned that one back on because it doesn't break it. I forgot that it's only when you have multiple cameras the bits donation breaks. So we got 500 bits for Josh realizing that Alpha Legion's superiority. That comes from Army 1917. As well as we had 300 bits from Malicious91.
Well, thank you again.
He says, I knew I liked you, Vito. I believe that was for the
I like you too. Comment. I like you more than you like you, and then I like me. What?
Wow.
Let's do a couple more of these real quick. C. Wills 65. Vito, will your role involve lots of painting to support Lee?
It might. On my downtime, I can definitely support Lee in the painting department.
I think the part of the goal is going to be So we want to get you up ready to film bat reps, filming bat reps, because you're primarily here as a content producer.
Yeah.
But
if there is downtime.
I see your role being one that, let's say, we've got some deadlines we got to hit for some new models that need to get painted. That's when, you know, I can throw you in there and go, you know, this is up your alley. Get it done.
Yeah. Because I do have a painting background.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do one more, then we're gonna jump back to the website. Adele? Was that the one that he said how to say his name?
Yeah, it would be J.A. Weedell.
J.A. Weedell. Does MiniWarGaming ever do faction on faction battles, orcs versus orcs? Not commonly, but every once in a while. I think it's we have enough different armies that if a guest is playing a certain one, we can play something that matches and makes sense. And typically, faction on faction battles don't do as well. People don't like them as much. But every once in a while, if it makes sense to, and that's what the guest wants to do, sure.
Kind of like a Civil War or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's
Or a
certain
squabble.
factions that make sense to fight each other. Like Loyalist Marines fighting Loyalist Marines, I don't love that. But like Chaos fighting Chaos, sure, happens all the time. Orcs fighting Orcs, sure.
How do you explain having two loyalists fighting each other besides it being a training exercise with the bolters filled with nerf?
Yeah, it's the training exercise, or like there's certain ones that it fits. So if you look at the Babid War stuff,
Okay.
because those would have been the rules would be represented by Loyalist Marines fighting Loyalist Marines,
Okay.
even though a bunch of them had went traitor.
Okay.
They're the ones. That's the ones where like the Mantis Warriors. It's I think it was the Astral Claws.
Were the
and-
Crocaridons in the Bed of War?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love
But
the
back then, I think
Crocaridons.
they were still calling them Space Sharks.
Space Sharks, right?
Yeah,
I love those guys.
which is the low Gothic name for them. But yeah, so we typically try to have battles that make sense from an easy lore perspective, but sometimes it's just kind of, you know, if it makes sense, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna jump back over to the website now, and
This is a great question.
This is gonna be a difficult one, so why don't you take it away?
All right. Arsenal asks, at Vito and Josh, alternate MiniWarGaming 30K question. If instead of the Primarchs, we all know, the Emperor somehow made the MiniWarGaming crew into Primarchs, some genetic mix-up with cloning and stuff, what would be each of your, Josh and Vito, not the whole crew because that would take forever, legions be called? What tactics and fluff would they have? And what special units would choose the field? Pick some existing ones or invent a new one. Also, what would start the heresy and who would follow them into the darkness? At Vito, congratulations on the new job. Thank you. Always thanks for the good work and entertainment you provide. So Josh, why don't we start with you?
Why? Because you got to think of something.
I
as
kind
far
of
as-
know this question or my answer, but
I don't have a great one. As far as what my legion would be called, I'm not entirely sure.
you want me to answer that and it gives you time to think?
No, because I won't come up with anything.
Okay.
Now, tactics and kind of lore and fluff and how they'd fight specialist units. I would like to see. I think it'd be interesting to have a legion that focuses on void combat.
Oh, that's actually what I was...
So
Yeah.
everybody's got their own little thing. I'm glad I said it first.
Yeah.
So everybody having their own little specialty, but being able to fight anywhere. A focus on working more closely, both, I guess with the ships for void combat itself, but also having more close support. That's where your artillery support's coming from, things like that.
Okay.
More of a fully combined arms kind of feel going on, I guess. Now, as far as units and stuff like that, I guess I'd love to see some kind of a unit that expands on the idea of the master signals. Being
Okay.
able to call in artillery strikes and things like that, but something on a more able to do it more often kind of basis.
So you're focusing more on artillery then?
Well, not necessarily. Like I said, focusing on combined arms and having everything work together.
Okay, I
Really
understand.
Because I think, a lot of the different legions have a tendency to specialize really one way. The White Scars, it's all the fast stuff.
Right.
I'd like to see a focus on taking the different fighting styles of the Astartes and having them constantly kind of be working together, if that makes sense.
So is it more of a jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing?
I guess so, yeah. Just
You can fulfill any battlefield role.
Right, having just a ton of flexibility and the capability to react in a different way a little bit quicker than with the other legions who have, kind of more of a game plan when they go in.
What color would your armor be?
What color would the armor be?
Pink.
Just hot pink.
Yeah.
Nice.
We know DJ Misfire's answer over there. I would like to,
power armor. I don't know.
I'd like to see kind of a more kind of subtle light green. I think I'm going for that route.
Okay.
Kind of the color of the current era Raptors for the Space Marine chapters, or no?
Are you just gonna start another like Sons of Horus? What color is it actually? Is it more green than blue? More blue than green? Create a whole controversy like that?
No, that's the Alpha Legion's the other one.
Oh yeah. The Alpha Legion's also the same way.
Raptor Space Marines. Okay, yeah. So it's a military green kind of.
Kind of like a military green sort of color, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's
It's very like Vietnam kind of color. Because I assume people at home can't see this.
The people at home can't see this.
Okay, so it's a very like if you can think of like the war in Vietnam, kind of regular soldier.
Colin could be probably find like type in Raptors Space Marines. I think the first picture, some official artwork there, Colin.
This one here, okay. Bringing it up on stream.
I like that.
But yeah, I'd like to see more just a focus on. Cause the Marines work together, but I think they could do it more efficiently and effectively.
Okay.
So yeah, and I guess a really heavy focus on just the communication aspect of it, of being able to just always have what you need when you need it, and being able to react to stuff a lot faster in the battle.
Okay, cool.
I'm thinking of other specialized units. I was thinking void combat stuff, but I'm kind of drawing a blank on that.
So that's actually kind of the route I was, the route I was going towards. For some reason, I'm always drawn towards like the ocean and the water.
Okay.
And I think it's because of my fear of the ocean and the water.
Okay.
Not
like
because you're Mediterranean.
maybe it is because I'm Mediterranean. Could be.
We'll expand on that fear of water.
Like it's the big deep open ocean.
Okay.
Like I love everything that has to do with like the things in the ocean. You know what I mean? Like aquatic animals and things like that. So I think my Legion would, like if they were on a backwater planet or something like that, they would specialize in warfare and things like that. And then if they were up in space, they would also specialize in void combat and ship combat.
Okay. Yep. So fighting in different kind of environments than what is standard, I guess?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then I imagine their Terminators, if they had Terminators, would be called like the Myrmidons.
Okay.
Kind of like play on like Mermaid, but also Achilles, his special troops.
Yep.
They would have a trident and a net, but the net would be electrified. So they would throw the net, and then it would slow down, or they would bring the unit's initiative down by 1 or 2-1. So they would strike first, and then the trident would just be like a power trident or something like that. I don't know what the rules would be.
See, okay, they've expanded. Aaron Dembski-Bowden recently did a novel where he expanded on an old Marine chapter. I don't know if you've seen these guys, the Emperor's Spears. I don't really know much about. Like, I haven't had the chance to read the novel because I don't know if it's out yet. But, they've got kind of a different aesthetic. Like, that's the chapter badge.
Okay.
I'm curious now. See if this would be up your alley, because they got a little bit of a kind of Mediterranean aquatic theme going on, I think.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, the trident and the. But I think that'd be really cool, right? Terminators going up the field. They have like this cool electrified net that sparks up, and then they have this power trident.
Would you want to have a electrified net if you're fighting in the water?
What? They wouldn't be in the water. That would be like on a Terminator in the water, Josh. Really?
Well, it's fully sealed.
Well, wouldn't they just drop down? I guess they could swim.
Well, they have a little power pack where they just jet around.
Well, the Terminator really wouldn't be in the water. That would be more of like a tactical marine.
Well, you think of some like enemy installation on the bottom of the ocean and the Terminators marching on the bottom.
That'd be cool.
That
See,
would be
I think that would
sweet.
be.
Yeah, but I think that's
even
what.
like sieging from a beach. They just all come walking up.
Oh, like the Terminators when they come out of the water, like the actual Terminators, like in Terminator.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I think that's what my Legion would focus on is void combat and ship combat.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's jump back here to some more questions. There you go. That's for you.
Nathan Pap. Is that right? Nathan Pap. At Vito, do you prefer more custom scenario 40k games or match play 40k games? I definitely think I like more, excuse me, custom 40k games. I remember a buddy of mine, Danny, he commissioned me to make 10 tables when he was trying to do his own tournament scene. So I created 10 tables and then 10 tables worth of terrain. And then he wanted me to come up with custom missions and then custom rules for all the terrain and things like that. So an ice world, for example, if you were on the ice on a roll of a 1, some of your miniatures can like break through the ice or things like that. Or there was a moon planet that I had created where
Wouldn't that just be a moon? Is that just a really big moon?
Yeah, thank you, Josh.
So it's just a big planet with no atmosphere?
Well, there was like your models can move like an extra certain amount of distance because they're like the gravity would be a little bit less.
Because it's just a moon?
Because it's just the moon, yes.
A moon planet.
Anyway, yes, I do like the more narrative stuff.
Hashtag moon planets.
Carry on.
Okay, we're gonna jump back
Monsters.
over to some of the questions here from the.
It was a moon board, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, that makes sense. Colin, you're gonna have to help us out. 14, 19, 21. We got Army 1917, Joshy, Vesti, Hail from New Zealand. How's that snow? Given Abaddon and the Black Legion's imminent upcoming victory on Vigilus, as usual, they've never won anything except for the Biggest Loser award. Where would you have?
It's going to be winning a new model.
This is from Army 1917.
Yes.
Where would you have the narrative go next? Killing the husk of the Golden Throne, perhaps?
I'd like to. Okay, so I've said this before. Like, I'd love to see if they finally push to the point, and I realize why they wouldn't be able to because it'd be huge and it'd be like a big reset of them going with the Star Child theory for the Emperor. That it's the Golden Throne's keeping him alive, but it's also stopping him from going out and recollecting his essence that's out in the warp, basically. So I'd love to see the idea that if somebody went and killed what remained of the Emperor, then his essence would be able to go into warp and recollect into a super powerful being, take a new form, and here you go.
Yeah,
there's the new start of the Legion, and that would be because I think that would be hilarious and ironic that Abaddon goes and kills what's left of the Emperor, sure, and then the Emperor is able to come back, get new physical form, and swat aside Abaddon and restart the Great Crusade.
Yeah,
I think that'd be super cool.
Kill the Emperor. Do it.
Yep, kill what remains of the Emperor. Next up here we got Catfish 666.
Vito, which AOS armies would you be playing? Daughters of Cain. And Josh, what have you been listening to lately, and why isn't it more Bolt Thrower?
I've actually been back to listening to a lot of Bolt Thrower lately. What have I been listening to in studio, Colin? I've been listening to I went back and listened to a lot of Chevelle, listening to a lot of old Tool songs. What else have I been listening to? Went back to listen to some Stain, Three Doors Down. I think that's most of it right now. Or what is it? Is it some Tom Waits stuff I've been listening to?
Yeah, just check your YouTube history. That's the best way.
Yeah, I know. So Tom, if you haven't checked out this before, go listen to Tom Waits, Waits, the song "Hell Broke Loose," and it's spelled Luce. A little something different for you to listen to. Oh, wrong one. So we're gonna go pick next. We got Necron Dawnbringer. Do you think the new Shadespear Primaris will be available to the Deathwatch? I can't see why they wouldn't be. I hope they are. From a lore perspective, I don't understand why they wouldn't be available. From because you got to think of how they're going to release the rules for the new stuff. That it's probably they're going to have to do an FAQ or something like that. And so it would just make sense that they would, in the list of the different factions that could take them, Deathwatch should be there. But I don't know. They didn't give us Primaris Lieutenants, which would still be beneficial. So maybe we won't get the brand new stuff. But I hope we do. I hope we do, because I'll buy it. It looks pretty cool. Next we got Aaron, 1109. Vito, take that one away.
Vito, will you be filming some 30K battle reports as guests allow? Thoughts on the new FAQ? Right now, I think I'm focusing on 40K and AOS. I haven't played 30K in quite a while, but I assume, I'll be filming some 30K when the time comes. And thoughts on the new FAQ? I love that Magnus now costs an additional 175 points so that he can do his 18-inch in all directions pinwheel of death. I love it. I'm totally going to pay it because I'm a jerk.
It makes sense for you to have that crutch that you need to use to...
Oh, I don't need the crutch because I already have the crutch of Biomancy.
Oh. Because, what happened the last time you played a game that you didn't take Magnus in?
What happened was I purposely neutered myself. And then I took an all...
You did a fantastic job at it then.
I did. I took an all infantry list, and you decided to take an all anti-infantry list. And then you destroyed me by turn 2.
I brought my standard Mechanicum list. And you had Vindicator. No, you had your Medusas, didn't you?
I did, yeah. But they died.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's okay, though, Carry on.
How big of a queue do you guys have?
Not much of one.
Okay, well, it is almost 3 o'clock now, and I know Vito has to get back to a game.
He does.
So let's give people another 5 minutes to get their questions in. So at 3:02.
3:02, we will close the queue. So in the meantime, we're going to jump back to the website real quick and answer some questions up there. Here you go. Take it away, Vito.
All right. Satsika at Vito, as MiniWarGaming's newest hire, can you tell us, with Josh, the power behind the throne? Beside you, any big ideas you have for MiniWarGaming, new things you'd like to do, etc. Also, what armies are you going to build/play? Is Josh as intimidating to film as he claims? Okay, you know what? With Josh, you know what he does? So my very first training battle report, you know what he does? So I'm filming with Luca, and this is what he does. He sits in the studio, just staring. You know how annoying it is, because he's just watching me with the beard and the eyes, and he's just staring. It is so annoying. And then look, when he had that hat on too, and that look. Josh, look into the camera. That's what he was doing the whole time. And it was so aggravating. It took me 10 minutes to move my first models because I was just, it was the worst. But you know what? It was worth it because both him and Luca were so helpful and supportive. He's great. They're both great.
Yeah, I've been told many times before my resting face and resting expression is not one that people typically think is very happy looking.
Yeah. I did actually ask him to leave the room.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really super grateful to have them here and have them coaching me along. But as for big ideas, when we move into the bunker, I'm the new guy, so I don't know if I have any pull as to any new kind of big ideas. But I'd like to do kind of a morning show when we move into the bunker, and I like to call it Good Morning Terra. I think that'd be a fun name.
You're talking about something you'd live stream? Or...
Yeah, kind of like a live stream or almost like a podcast kind of thing. I don't really know. I have to iron out the how it would work. But yeah, kind of like a Good Morning Terra morning show, just kind of sitting down once a week kind of thing, talking about like what's new in wargaming and kind of figuring out exactly what that would be. But I think that could be fun.
Yeah, I think we definitely want to have more reach like that. Obviously, the focus, the bread and butter, is still going to be bat reps, and always
Of course,
will
yeah.
be. But yeah, being able to move out to do some different stuff would be cool. Somebody's very slowly sneaking in, grabbing a box of I'm not sure what, dragging it out of the room. This is terrifying to watch. Actually, it's like some sort of horror movie.
All I see is hands from the corner, so it's
Right?
worse.
And they're gone again. I
Just hearing Aaron.
subtle. So at Josh, in the last week's open vault, you said you were getting some drop fleet miniatures. Is this going to be something we see on MiniWarGaming soon? You collect minis from a lot of different systems. What's your favorite set/system? So as far as seeing the miniatures themselves, like I can show you them when I get them on the stands. They're painted. They're here. So Battle Group Niagara is present in the building. Nobody here has a full army to play or anything like that, so it's not something you'll probably see bat reps of anytime soon. It is one of the games that I hope that when we have the bunker up and running and we can have regular people coming in playing games all the time, hopefully that's one of the games I can get a following of going, and then maybe we could look at if it would make sense to do bat reps of. As far as the favorite set or system, I think there's a bunch of different ones that have merit. I think some of my favorites right now, I really like how they handle stuff in Drop Fleet Commander. Did you ever play BFG?
I have not, no.
Okay, so Drop Fleet Commander, it's a spaceship game, but you're fighting in orbit. So there's either you're in atmosphere, low orbit, or high orbit.
Right.
So there's different orbital zones, which have some influence on the game. And the way it works for your range is that there's no set range in the game
Okay.
for how far your weapons can shoot. Like other games like BFG, you can put your ships on orders, and depending on what sort of orders you give them, they get spikes of energy as they're doing different things. They're actively pinging, looking for the enemy, or they're firing all of the weapons, something like that. And you take the amount of spikes you have on you, and then you add that to the signature of your ship. The bigger your ship is, the bigger the signature is. Those two numbers you add together, and that's how far away you can be shot from by anything.
Okay.
So the idea is that, all these big giant ships going around, firing at super long ranges, it's easy to get a sense of where the enemy is, but it's when they suddenly start to do something you can kind of pinpoint and send the fire that way. So I like that idea more than just the set ranges. I'm also a big fan of, I still think Team Yankee is one of the most fun games I've played in I don't know how long. And there's slowly a community growing around here. But yeah, fantastic little game because I really love the scale and the setting. And then I think Bolt Action's got some of my favorite, as far as the I Go, You Go.
Right, that's pulling a dice out of the
That's
bag,
the dice
right?
out of the big one.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best system I've seen. I think Bolt Action, there's things that could be better about it, but that whole dice out of the bag, I haven't seen a system that works better. That's a play on the classic I Go, You Go.
That's very similar to the Batman miniature game. It's pull a little coin or something out of the bag.
Okay, so Colin, if I click close for the queue, that doesn't get rid of the questions, right?
It should not, no.
Okay, let's hope it doesn't. It didn't. Okay, good.
All right, the queue has been closed, everyone. No more questions, so I guess you guys just try to bang out the last couple.
Yeah, let's get the rest of these done. WB Freak 54, take it away, Vito.
Josh and Vito, I've started thinking of starting a Tau army. What would you start getting to have a decent list? I've played several Imperial armies and NIDs. I used to play Khorne in 7th. But I like the idea of having heavy firepower. Also, does MiniWarGaming have special hiring policy? You have a crazy beard. Steve is huge. Rob is a horror super fan with amazing tattoos. Vito has vests. Luca and the cat thing. Jay and the eyes. Quirk and the mohawk. Lee and his whole Iceland paint master. And Chris with his Native American root, hair, and amazing color theory. Finally, why does the office situation keep changing? I can't speak to Tau Army. I'm not too familiar with them.
I can throw in an idea here. If you don't have a start collecting box, definitely pick one of those up. It's a good deal. Get yourself some some crisis suits, which aren't, I don't know if they're necessarily the best, but gives you a good beginning force, as well as some fire warriors and an ethereal. And then if you want the heavy firepower, you're definitely going to want to pick up some broadsides and riptide, and then kind of just fill in from there with what you like. But the broadsides are awesome with their high yield missile pods. They kick out a lot of damage. And the riptide's great, survivable, and will typically stay on the board and have your opponent ignore shooting it, which is awesome. So that's some good starter things that you can grab, and then from there just kind of use the rule of cool and pick what you like, and that's obviously one of the most important things about building a new army.
Now, as far as a hiring policy, there really isn't one in place. I guess it's got to be, you have to have somebody that's interested in the games that we play. He's going to be passionate about the games that we cover. They have to have a certain comfort level when it comes to recording. It's going to be somebody that is able to interact with guests, make them feel comfortable, and produce a good product, even though they're meeting them for the first time. And they got to have somewhat of a marketable personality, I guess. Like I can't think of the right way to say it. It's just you have to have the right personality type on camera. They've got to have something to make them interesting.
I know, or then you're just like me and don't have a title.
Well, that's why you're not a content producer.
I was gonna say, this is why I hide in the corner.
Yeah, so you have a certain skill set that works. Now, why does the office situation keep changing?
Partially my fault.
A little bit. I think you were the kind of push. We had the back office set up for filming this sort of stuff. It wasn't the most efficient use of space. Now, in retrospect, doing everything in here means that this studio's shut down for content production, so I've lost 25% of the space we can film bat reps, which is kind of stressful. It's just basically the reason it keeps changing is we're just, trying to keep up with everything we do as we get closer and closer to moving into the bunker.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of putting your finger in the holes of the boat for now.
Yeah, as it springs
until we
leaks.
can get out of here.
Yeah. Again, the way I look at it, finishing off the time in this building here, my job is to have this sinking ship that is this current studio that we're getting out of. And my job is to take that ship and keep it pointed in the right direction. Hope somebody plugs the holes and we're going to stay in the right direction. There's a lot of new stuff that we're doing that we're getting excited for, and it's one where we don't want to use the excuse of we'll do it when we get into the bunker.
Right.
No, we we want to keep trying to come up with new stuff to do, stuff that we think that we're passionate about trying and making it work in the space that we're in.
Yeah.
Okay, you got Big Mikey here.
Vito, congrats on joining the Dream Team. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing some 30K Thousand Suns. Love some fancy vests. Josh, more 30K stuff released / previewed at the weekend opener and new FAQ. General thoughts, and has the new releases and Book 8 teases brought some hype back to MiniWarGaming for the 30K universe? Also, when are we seeing this new fancy Fist army you acquired?
As far as the fancy new Fist army, let me think. You've seen it already in a bat rep, Big Mikey. I played against the Iron Warriors a little while back, and I'm pretty sure that one went out. But I've got a couple other games coming up with them. Not a ton, but a couple. One. And there's one where they're allied in, too.
Seems like Josh
I'm trying to think of all the different ones that I've filmed recently. So hopefully we see them more and more. Now, as far as the 30K stuff being previewed and all that, hype back to MiniWarGaming. I can say that Matt and Dave seem as uninterested in 30K as they could be. Steve is still sitting on the fence waiting for Dark Angels. And myself and Luca have been really pushing the heresy for the last year anyways.
Right.
So I'm already super excited for 30K. I'm as enthused as I have been in the last year. I never really lost any steam on it, though, in the last while. And I think Luca's in the same boat.
Yeah.
I can say that, as much as I love playing Age of Sigmar, 40K, and all the rest of that stuff is a ton of fun, when 30K comes up as, there's a guest coming in for 30K, Luca and I think that's the only one we kind of fight over.
Okay.
Of, I want this, and I'm going to be upset if I don't get 30k in the next little while. And I think that might be because we get enough 40k in Age of Sigmar guests already, and the 30k is kind of the rare one you don't get as much. But yeah, we're still both super hyped about it. So yeah, hopefully we'll see more fists soon. I got at least one more game coming up with them that I filmed the other day. Did some Zone Mortalis. Why don't you get Daniel TMU there, Vito?
All right, Daniel. Vito, what was your last occupation? So I did work at the bunker for the last year, so getting that up and running. But not MiniWarGaming related. I was a full-time student studying social work. But I was also doing commission painting. So I was getting some cash flow that way. Prior to that, I was a personal trainer. I was also a Zumba instructor. So prior to having knee surgery, yes, my hips did not lie.
Now they lie.
That never lie, right?
I almost got my Zumba certification too.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What happened?
I was working at the YMCA. Didn't come about.
No.
Nah, I didn't have the time to do any fitness classes outside of the pool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I also worked for Peel Regional Police and the fitness unit, so getting police officers ready to be out in the field, making sure that they're in tip-top shape. So yeah, those were some of my previous employment.
If you want to know more about Vito's past, there's a video in the vault.
Oh, there is. That's right.
That who is Vito? If you are a vault member, check that out and get a little bit of Vito before, a couple of months before he was hired.
That's true. And I had an amazing interviewer.
We're going to jump over to the Danish Viking Alex here. See if we can get these going here. So at Vito, congrats on the new job.
Thank you.
What armies will we be playing in the near future in 40k and AOS?
So for 40k, I do want to try out the White Scars. I have one game so far under my belt filmed, but I do want to try pushing them. I still got the Thousand Suns. I'm going to be trying them out. And then I do want to do Imperial Guard or the Astra Militarum. I'm looking at Catachans. And then I might dabble in Deathcore Krieg, but I am getting married. So doing the investment into that army may not be the greatest. And then, like I said, I'm also considering Slanesh as well. So we'll see what happens there. And then for AOS, Daughters of Cain, which I'll be doing. Colin.
No, I'm just looking at where the sun's coming from.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like trying to swat a fly or something. Yeah, Daughters of Cain. I'll probably be doing Slanesh as well. None of the other. Oh, and Sylvaneth. I know the studio has a Sylvaneth army. Sylvaneth is something that speaks to me, so I'll probably be doing them as well.
So Josh, you've mentioned that people either hate or love Beastclaw Raiders because they have to be played in a certain way. It's true, they're super one-dimensional without many unit choices, which is also due to the limited model range. What about Gutbusters? Is it just the Beastclaws that you like, or ogres in general? What are your thoughts of a combination of Gutbusters and Beastclaws? Happy wargaming to both of you.
Oh gosh. Josh has been talking about this one for a while.
I've actually, funny enough, I don't know if you're asking because you've heard me talk about it in videos or not. I have always been a fan of the ogres, not just the Beastclaws. So Gutbusters, I've got a couple games out there with them. I just filmed another Gutbuster game the other day, so hopefully that'll be out within the next week or two. And I really want to see a unified book. So we're starting to see, like, the Beast of Chaos brought a bunch of factions they had split up back together. The new Grotz book did the same sort of thing. I would love to see them maybe add a little bit more, but even if we just got a general ogre book that brought the Beastclaws in with the Gutbusters, brought the Man-Eaters back in along with the Firebellies and all that, I think that would be super cool. It'll be disappointing if Games Workshop doesn't do it, because I think that they're awesome models. They're a ton of fun to play. The Gutbusters are a really suboptimal army right now because they're just old and they haven't been updated. There's nothing wrong with the rules that they got when they had got them, but they're the same rules from a couple years ago. So yeah, I'd love to see them be brought into line and ogres get a proper book. I hope. I've been talking about it a lot though, as Cullen said. Okay, let's bomb through these questions here. We don't got too many. Descent? That's how I'm going to say your name. Sorry, I arrived late, so my question may be already answered. Vito, when we have our next Lamenter's bat rep? You gonna play the Lamenters? We got that. It's the yellow army that. Adam
I don't really have an interest in Lamenters. I'm familiar with them, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see.
Next, we got Shogun Ka, William Ka.
This is a funny question.
Vito, would you like to have an intro with you saying, "Where's my cannoli?" as a joke?
Is that an Italian thing? I like it. Let's do it.
Hey, I mean, if it gets cannoli to the studio, I'm in.
Steve talks about cannoli all the time.
But never once has he found it.
He'll never bring it in. I am sure that Steve has bought cannolis before with the intention of bringing them in and then just eating them all on the way.
I 100% believe
I wonder if Steve's a little jealous now that there's an actually full-blooded Italian.
Oh, he's 100% threatened.
Yeah, because I actually have my Italian citizenship.
Do you?
I do. I'm a dual citizen.
Because he always brings up the fact that he's Mediterranean. He talks about being Mediterranean a lot.
But I'm actually Mediterranean. So, like, look at my skin. But anyway, that's for a separate issue.
Okay, so we got Trusty. Well, let's continue on. Trusty Broom. How is Steve always so jolly? Is he some top-secret Canadian experiment to create the ultimate Canadian?
That's because he's Canadian, not Italian.
When have we ever seen a jolly Italian? Answer, never.
Heavy Glenn. That's almost just kind of... Did you name Glenn and you're heavy? Like, I'm going to start changing my username. There's Heavy Josh.
Maybe he's just writing heavy.
I don't know. It could be any number of reasons.
Man, maybe that's just heavy.
Right? Vito, do you play the Horus Heresy? And if so, what legion and why? Yeah, I do play the Horus Heresy. I play Thousand Suns. I actually sold my army. It was roughly around 12,000 points. But I did... Did I say I sold it? Yeah, I did sell it. But a huge shout out to Hunter. He did allow me to still play it. So I do have access to the army whenever I want. So I can still play that. I'm actually considering starting White Scars. So with the advent of it's book 8, with a book 8 coming, I'm considering starting White Scars. But once again, getting married, starting another army is going to be.
Talk with your hands less.
It's difficult, all right? I'm
Are
Italian.
we going to have to imply the Luca rule for you? You're not allowed to have anything within your wingspan?
So I might start White Scars. There's the Raven Guard army that's in the studio. I sold that to the studio, so I might play them. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we got a response from Heavy Glenn, by the way. It's heavy for heavy metal.
Ooh, nice.
And then in brackets, and I am heavy. Why not
nice.
both?
2 for 1. I like it.
Thank you, Heavy Glenn.
Nice.
Zergalurderg asked Josh last week, but now both of you. Primarch Battle Royale, pre-heresy, no chaos shenanigans, only melee weapons. Who wins?
No chaos. So Magnus is out. Wait. Does chaos mean no psychic powers?
Okay, so when we talked about it, we said no psychic powers, just strictly melee weapons.
All right, Magnus is dead. So it's between the Khan, Russ, Angron, and Sanguinius. Right?
I mean, you could argue that there's other ones. Why Sanguinius?
He's a pretty good fighter.
He's a pretty good fighter, but he's also a pretty good fighter because he can see into the future.
Well, that's a huge advent.
Well, I know. So, I mean, like, does that count as a psychic kind of advantage?
Okay, so take that advantage away. I still think he's a great fighter.
Sure, but is he that great?
Okay, so then you take him away. It's a toss-up then between the Khan.
Who has the longest weapon? That's who I put my money on.
Well, even in the books, Russ is... I want to say he's afraid. He's wary of the Khan.
Yep.
I'd say the Khan. I'm going with the Khan.
I said the Khan as well.
I'm going with the
Khan. Because in the books, I don't know if this is a narrative for whatever anybody's a spoiler. Don't watch this last little part. Pre-heresy, I do believe Angron and Russ did fight.
Okay.
And Angron beat him.
Okay.
But was put into such a bad situation that he would then, be overwhelmed and killed by the rest of the Faithful Legion. But technically in a 1-on-1, he won.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the Khan is the winner.
Yeah, I definitely think, and that's not just because I like the White Scars the most, or not the most, but it's a toss up between the White Scars and Thousand Suns. I definitely think the Khan would hands down win that.
Yep.
But then here's the thing: everyone else knows about the con. So would they go after the con, or is he just going to sit?
Would they know about the con? Because in the lore, like even when you see the other Primarchs interacting with the con, they're like, I forgot about you.
That's true as well. Yeah, con wins.
Did you read Scars?
I did.
Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking of because they have this conversation where they're like, oh, you know.
We have a brother.
The peasants, you know, are taking bets on who would win in a fight. And
that's true. Yeah, con wins.
Okay, so we're gonna skip through a couple of these. Have you played the new Warhammer 40k Mechanicus game?
Nope.
I haven't played it either. It looks a little bit like XCOM, and that's why I'm avoiding it, because I've wasted enough of my time playing XCOM, and I don't have the time to waste anymore. Brick, considering its sister's a battle army, need a little help, found these models. What do you think about them for replacements? Honestly, I'm going to say don't do it until the Games Workshop sisters come out, and then make your mind up.
Yeah.
Regardless of what, I'm not even going to look at the models that you're looking at. I'm sure they're cool.
Could be the Russian ones.
Maybe, I don't know.
But yeah, just wait.
Wait and see the Games Workshop ones and decide what you want to go with then. K. Broham. Hey guys, do you think Primaris will ever get a unique chapter army or just be Smurfs in different colors? In the lore, they've talked about it, and I want to say that there was something in some of the White Dwarfs that were talking about them. I wouldn't be surprised if they start giving you, you know, here's a chapter of full Primaris.
It's the way of the future. Primaris is the way of the future.
So, who knows? Drakillian, Josh, ready for the Bretonians to come back and get their vengeance? See you real soon. Weird vengeance.
The one with the armor noise. What does he put at the end?
Dramatic Mongolian. Oh, have you seen that video? Oh, that music is so good.
There's a couple. Yeah, when he was here, I was showing him. I can't remember the name of the bands, but there's a couple Mongolian bands that I was listening to, and they got really good music.
There's like how White Scar is right into battle. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it,
the
but I'm sure
it's the same. Probably the same
sure
band. Those guys are wicked.
I have to double check. If anybody actually wants to know, just email me, josh@miniwargaming.com, and I can give you the name of a couple of the bands. But it's really good music. It just makes you want to invade China or something. I don't know. Like, what?
I don't know why.
Do they have to build another wall?
This is the second wall to keep Josh out.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to get a really strong pony to ride.
Is that too soon?
J.A. Weedle. DJ Misfire, what should Vito's nickname be?
The Dawn. Some people have already been saying that. I like it. Too late. Next question.
I didn't even say that, but sure.
Quiet you.
We're going to jump down to Super Wasp King. Adding to my last question, do you think a narrative where you and Josh are guardsmen trying to escape a chaos cult-ridden planet, Colin 1459-21?
I think you guys probably... I don't know if they just heard me talk to myself, but if they did, then hey.
Cool.
Were you and Josh are guardsmen trying to escape a chaos cult-ridden planet would go well?
I think that would be a cool narrative campaign. Like, is this an RPG campaign, I wonder, or is like a 40? Yeah, either way.
I think even if it falls more the Yogg Tor kind of way, I think
Dutch and Dylan.
Interesting.
Let's do it, Dutch and Dylan.
Dutch and Dylan.
Email Matthew@MiniWarGaming.com. Let's make this happen, Dutch and Dylan.
Make that the subject line too. I just want him to get like 80 emails with just
The best
Dutch
part
and
is
Dylan.
I think that those emails all still go to Aaron anyways.
Oh no.
Hey Luca.
Soon, Luca, soon. Vito's got a game to get back to. Dr. Vulcan, Vito, what's your favorite GW faction, any game, look-wise?
Bretonians. They will always be near and dear to my heart. Green Knight, the best model GW's ever made. Bretonians, through and through.
And then last but not least, M. Meyer 0122. What do you think about Conflict 47? Are you familiar with Conflict 47?
Is that the World War III?
It's okay, so it's bolt action.
Okay.
But they've just added in some weird war stuff. So like there's the Nazi zombies.
Oh right, I'm familiar with it. I've never played it, but
I think it's really cool.
Yeah. I
own some Conflict stuff, and that's hopefully a game that there's a bunch of different games that I want to. I don't have any time right now with everything going on with the MiniWarGaming studio, but I've wanted to do my own thing and film some of these games that we don't cover here for a while. I have no time to get around to it now.
Was that the game that was discontinued?
47? No.
Oh.
No, K47's, you're thinking, I don't know if it was discontinued, but I think Dust
Warfare or Dust Tactics.
Yeah, it's not the same thing, but it's got a similar kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Okay.
I think Conflict's fantastic. I know some people don't enjoy historical wargaming for a number of different reasons, but Conflict takes bolt action and then adds a bunch of extra units on, and it kind of just it takes away some of the realism of bolt action, because now you got some kind of goofy fun stuff going on too.
Okay.
People, I think, a number of people are more comfortable gaming in that kind of a feel, but they got some cool stuff for the Italian army.
Ooh. Wait. What?
What do you mean what?
Why am I just supposed to be playing the Italians because I'm Italian?
You've talked about it a bunch. Why would I didn't say you had to play them. I assume that you'd be interested, though.
Because I'm Italian.
Yeah.
What if I wanted to play...
You can play whatever you want.
Ooh, the Italians. I just saw a Roman guy.
Those are their heavy armored.
He's like a gladiator guy.
Yeah.
I like the Italians.
They're pretty cool. But that's it. That's what we got. So why don't you run us through all the quick reminders of all the different shows, Vito?
All right. Tomorrow we got Matthew at 12:30. And then next week there's going to be... What was it again, Colin? Of Destiny? Escaping Destiny at 12:30 on Tuesday.
Which is the Wrath and Glory
Wrath and
show.
Glory. Yep.
The RPG show.
So make sure you turn to that where you can see our two beautiful faces.
True.
Yeah.
And then next Thursday,
yes,
Steve will be doing the live sit and talk. So if you have questions, wait for this video to get posted on the MiniWarGaming website and leave your questions for him there. Or you can submit them live. He'll answer them either way.
Oh, and if you want, send Steve an email, steve@miniwargaming.com. Send him an Italian flag.
Oh, no, it begins.
It's his first sit and talk, and he's starting it already.
It begins. Thanks so much for tuning in. Keep being awesome. As always, happy wargaming.
See you later, guys.